Good afternoon, everyone. In today's video, I'm going to do a bit of a recap or a follow-up on our most recent video, which is around 2 bullish and 2 bearish TTM squeeze setups. Out of the 4 different stocks we discussed, 3 are offering better entries with still an active setup, which is why I feel that it's important to bring it up. Now, to follow along with this video, one thing you may want to download alongside watching this video is the Market Pulse dashboard script. This is a free download. The URL to download it is tosindicators.com/dashboards/market-pulse-dashboard. Now, loading in the Market Pulse dashboard here, I have all of our different sectors inside of the SPY. And the more interesting point that I thought with today's activity was most of the sectors that were positive are still in an overall bearish trend on the daily time frame. You can see the Market Pulse dashboard here is set to the daily time frame, and there from XLB all the way down to XLI, everything is still in bearish structure. The 3 that according to the dashboard are not in bearish structure include XLE, so the energy ETF, XLRE, which while in a bullish Market Pulse, the structure here just doesn't look all that great. The 50 and the 200 are still above price action. And finally, XLU, which while price did make a recent all-time high, is still trying to gather its bearings in terms of structure. We still have the 21 and the 34 still below the 50. So overall here, if you contrast these 3 sectors, XLE to me wins by a landslide in terms of bullish structure. So that's where our bias for XLE comes in. Now from the 4 different stocks we had discussed, 2 of them were inside of the energy sector. One was FANG, which is Diamondback Energy, where we had 7 winners, 2 losers, and we're now getting a better entry there. And the second one was Halliburton, where we didn't have as much data, but we still had a squeeze supporting that we expected an overall bullish move. Now coming into our charts here, if we come into each of those 2 stocks now in Halliburton, this right here was where the video was made, that second squeeze signal indicator. From that point, we bounced up, we hit 37.38, which was our near-term target. We've now pulled back inside of that 8 EMA. So for all intents and purposes, this feels like just a pullback in an overall still longer-term uptrend. We also have the squeeze that has yet to fire inside of Halliburton, so the squeeze is still very much active. Contrasting this with Diamondback Energy, very similar structure. Diamondback pulled a little bit further into the 50 SMA. We haven't had that same kind of push that we saw inside of Halliburton, and the squeeze here is starting to enter that yellow dot squeeze, where we would expect price action to chop around here inside of the moving averages a bit longer, where we have a bit of a gather energy sort of phase before it actually fires. So between these 2, I would say Halliburton looks a little bit better than Diamondback Energy, but both are still very much active setups. We have the squeeze signals plotting, we have the squeeze yet to fire, and structure at least looks good for each of these 2 stocks. Now on our bearish side, we had 2 stocks that we discussed as well. One was Lending Club, where that squeeze is already fired. This was where we made the video with the squeeze signal looking like it would fire short. The very next day that squeeze fired short, and that's where this trade was essentially complete. So LC, or Lending Club, is now over. The one that's still active from the bearish side is ROST stores, where again we had a bearish squeeze signal. The next day we had a nice bearish push, also somewhat of a double bottom here, broke a little bit outside in terms of structure. And now inversely we're pulling back to that 8 EMA, which still has very much bearish momentum associated with it, along with the squeeze that has yet to fire. And we also have an upcoming dividend play where I expect the stock to fall a little bit on that particular day as well, the ex-dividend day. So across the board here, we still have active trades. ROST stores, we're getting somewhat of an equivalent entry to the day we actually made the video. FANG, you're getting a better entry. And Halliburton, you're getting a slightly better entry, at least with more information, where we have some sort of bullish momentum here, along with the squeeze that's still very much positive. So that's a little update or recap on the 3 or 4 rather stocks that we had discussed in our most recent video. If you haven't seen this already, I'd recommend watching this video as it gives you a little bit more breakdown in terms of the stats, and you can also download the Market Pulse dashboard if you'd like to follow along or load this into your watch list. Now, one other note that I'll add for all of our Volatility Box members is go ahead and add it not only to your dashboard, all 3 of those stocks, but also on the Alerts tab right here. The benefit there is if we have, say in the case of Diamondback or Halliburton, a bit of a sell-off, we can use the LE levels as potential buy entries, and the alerts tab will send you an alert whenever that condition's met. So this basically gives you an opportunity to enter inside of a stock we already have a bullish bias on at a discount. So that would be the case for Halliburton and Diamondback Energy. And in the case of ROST stores, if we get a rally, so a better opportunity to short near our upper volatility box levels, then that's where the alerts tab also comes in, letting you enter those positions at a more aggressive discounted level. Now on the reverse side, for targets, the same alerts tab will work reversely, where if we say have Halliburton hit the upper edge of our clouds or Diamondback Energy, then we still have an alert notification letting you know that, hey, we're at a place where typically we'd want to get short anyway, so take some profits here as we expect price to start to reverse from these areas. So just 3 levels, or 3 stocks rather, to keep in mind that I think are still very much active plays, 2 on the bullish side, 1 on the bearish side. Alright, I hope this video helps as a recap for those of you invested or playing in any one of these stocks. For those that were in Lending Club, that squeeze is officially fired and that trade is over, with that squeeze firing the very next day. Alright, take care everyone, good luck trading, and we'll see you in the next update.